Hello, Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 10th to the 18th. Oh, May 12th to the 18th. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. Aries, I am looking at what's going on for you, and I'm going to go on a limb and say, do you have money on your mind? Most likely. We'll talk about it, all right? There's a few aspects than normal this week, but they are mighty, okay? This is definitely going to be a week of endings, right? But also for your faded new beginnings. And to be honest, you're going to be doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing, all right? And we'll talk about that, okay? Now, like every week, I'm going to go over things we didn't discuss in your May monthly forecast, and I'm going to tell you some things no one else is going to tell you, so buckle up. This is going to be big. And you do see that you've got Venus in your sign, you got Neptune in your sign, you got Mars, your ruler in Leo. Fiery times for you, okay? Now, we do kick it off with that full moon in Scorpio. Here's the thing. I know that I dropped these forecasts a few days before the actual week. You're going to feel it as you do with full moons. You're feeling it now, okay? If you're watching it before the week begins, you're feeling it now. It's a full moon, right? It's a strong one. I told you that. But here's the thing. We basically have a T-square over the weekend, okay? With the moon in Scorpio, opposite Mercury in Taurus, squaring Pluto in Aquarius, with a lot of other things happening with the asteroids, planetoids. You're going to really feel it amping up until we get to Monday. And when we get to Monday, May 12th, here we are, the full moon in Scorpio, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. If you want to, where I live, if you want to convert that to wherever you live, this is a big one. Again, you'll feel it all week. Now, I'm going to point out one other thing. You see what's happening on the 18th? You're going to feel it starting now. In fact, you're already feeling it if you're watching it the week before. Okay, a few things about this full moon for you. First, it's at 22 degrees. We'll talk about that. I told you that this full moons in Scorpio have an intensity to it. We're talking about Scorpio energy as well, okay? So this is where you're going to feel some emotional intensity, but that can also be intense passion. It's where you put that energy, okay? As full moons do, they bring endings, completions, turning points, but the biggest theme, especially for you, and especially if you're Aries rising, but especially for all Aries, truth coming to light. That's because it is a Pluto-ruled full moon. All right. Remember, Pluto is the ruler of the underworld. And so I always talk about the depth, right? Really going deep. Pluto is far out there. It gets no light from the sun. Okay. So it's in the dark, right? So when I say things coming to the surface, things coming to light during a full moon where things are illuminated anyway, you can expect things coming to the surface. You can expect possibly secrets, possibly revelations, maybe confessions. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's something in your physical world, your external world. This is a full moon in your 8th house. So very likely partnerships here. It can be business. But there's definitely going to be something around this time. And again, it may not be anything. It's just like truth. It's like, okay, like, getting this out, this is my shadow work, right? Pluto is transformation, that's why. So you're going to feel this, okay? I did say it's 22 degrees. The Sabian symbol for what's happening here is coincidentally and conveniently metamorphosis. All right, animal to spirit, caterpillar to butterfly, whatever you want to, phoenix rising from the ashes. It's a Pluto-ruled full moon. Now, the other thing is it's 22 degrees, so two things here. 22 is a master number, okay? So for many of you, maybe it's your life path number, whatever it is, it's a deep connection with the ether, okay? 22 is strong. It's a force to be reckoned with, unlimited potential. 22 is the master builder. Now, I want you to keep that in mind, okay? Master builder requires creativity, discipline, tenacity, leadership, the right confidence to bring your dreams to reality, okay? Being the builder, the engineer of your life journey. Now, just by sheer coincidence, or is it really? Is it a wink from the universe? 22 degrees in astrology is a cardinal degree. It is the Capricorn degree. The hardworking, disciplined, tenacious, leadership degree. Okay? Remember, Capricorn, it's Saturn ruled. In Pisces right now, with Neptune bringing your dreams to reality, You can't make this up, all right? And there's a lot of other things that it's gonna be mind-blowing for y'all. You can even break 22 down to 4. Sure, do that if you want to do that. What it's for? It's structure. It's hardworking. It's disciplined. It's foundation building. So you already see a big theme happening here, okay? There's something ending here for you, for something new that you're building. And remember, Capricorn being Saturn ruled, and Saturn's going to be very active this week, right? And there's a big thing happening for you specifically. Remember, Saturn is karma and life lessons. Now, Aries, I want you to think 6 months ago to the corresponding new moon, November 1st, when Pluto was in Capricorn, right? You see the connection. Are you connecting the dots? Pluto was still in Capricorn back then. All right. What happened around that time? What happened around that time with career? Yeah. With partnerships, building relationships, or money, wealth, investments, inheritance, right? Taxes, legal, things like that, right? Joint bank accounts, things like that, okay? Just give it some thought, okay? You were probably going through some big transformation at that time. Now, the other thing is, and you're a cardinal sign, like Capricorn, all right? Now, here's the thing. We've got the sun in Taurus opposite the moon in Scorpio. Remember, the moon is just a rock, right? It reflects that sunlight. And so you are looking at your second house of income, salary, and finances, and your eighth house of wealth building and shared resources and assets. So those are the two biggest themes around this full moon for you, and a level of relationships as well. All right. So money, finances, investments, investors, things like that, all on the table. Everything that I just mentioned, as well as relationships. And again, it can be career. It can be career, right? Now, you see, remember, I said everything happening here, you're going to feel here. And I said in your monthly forecast, you're going to feel that Uranus Cazimi here. All right. We'll talk about it later. All right. And that, brings surprises, but it can bring surprise windfalls. It can be surprise inheritance. Maybe your parents decide, hey, we're going to retire. You take over the business. And you're like, awesome, amazing. You never know. But you got to vibrate at that high frequency. And I'm going to say that. You know how the law of attraction works at this point, hopefully, because I repeat that every week to get in your conscious. Some things bear repeating. Now, why am I telling you this so specifically for this full moon for you? Is because it is a Pluto-ruled full moon, which can be, there's that darkness there, all right? 22 degrees. I'm just going to let you know, it's not always a cakewalk. 22 degrees isn't super easy, but you use it to let things go, to build your dream life, your reality that you're creating for yourself. It requires transformation. It is a full moon in Scorpio that rules transformation. Okay? And so when I say that, when I say letting go, patterns, habits, relationships, jobs, whatever no longer serves you well. So it's up to you. Every Aries is different. Y'all have different birth charts. You're going to have different experiences, but the one thing that you do have in common is the transformation part, because this is a full moon in Scorpio. It's the death card. The death card in tarot is Scorpio, transformation. Out with the old, in with the new. You're going to hear me say that a couple more times, because there's going to be a couple other things here asking you, let's get rid of the old, bring in the new. All right. Main thing is, what do you want moving forward? Right? Let things illuminate what is your truth. Okay. And so and I hope you saw my last week reading. Okay. I told you about HemiSync, and I hope that you're using that, because that does help. All right. And so there are going to be a lot of aspects this week that are so wonderful. So there's a lot of support around here. Now, the moon, like I said, will be opposite Uranus, the great awakener, change, breakthrough, freedom. That's Uranus. That's Uranus. It's liberating. So that's already helping you. It's already helping you, and it brings, sure, unexpected announcements, shocking surprises, but again, it can be you making this announcement like, I'm no longer doing this. I've done my shadow work, right? So anyway, and clearly maybe something with home, family, loved ones. They could be making announcements, or there could be changes and shifts and adjustments, maybe a female figure. But Uranus is not only rebellious, but also revolution, as is Pluto in Aquarius, which is happening right now. Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius, so that's inside you. There's something inside you where you're like, I can't hold back anymore. All right, I gotta make this transformation. Okay, so you throw in Mercury square Pluto that same day. Listen, just look at your monthly forecast. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but just remember what I said. You work with this energy, you get over this tiny speed bump, you got something waiting for you in 2 weeks. You're gonna be fine. Now, Mercury square Pluto, same thing. You're gonna feel it days before. You're gonna definitely feel it over the weekend. Okay? And you're gonna feel it days after. Mercury is communication. Mercury is the mind. Yeah? Pluto is very psychological, very forensic. That's why we say, really deep and going through that darkness, that shadow side, right? Carl Jung, we're talking about, like, he talked about. But anyway, this is all about your transformation and your growth. Yeah, you could go really, really, really deep on this day, okay? Because Mercury square Pluto is going to add that extra layer of intensity in terms of you saying, there's something in here that's got to change, okay? Now, Mercury square Pluto increases the possibility or the probability of things coming to the surface and revelations and secrets revealed. It's happening at the full moon in Scorpio, which that is what it already is. And so it is digging deep to get to the bottom of things. Yeah. Within you or in your world, within your circumstances, just don't be afraid for things to come to the surface. Okay. Be the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let things go. Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. Use that energy. It's the moon that is intuition as well. So your intuition, there's this high degree of your gut instincts and trusting them. So do that shadow work and that intuitive work, okay? Because you do have Jupiter sextile Chiron in your sign, which we'll talk about. But Mercury is in Taurus, and that's why I'm saying work with this energy, because Mercury in Taurus can be a little inflexible and resistant, especially in thinking. Yeah. Or making changes, and it can be fighting words. It can be fighting thoughts. It can be power struggles. It can be jealousy on a full moon in Scorpio. So that can be love. That can be work. That can be family. Where does that resonate for you? Yeah. Remember, Mercury in Taurus is in your second house. So what are the things that you desire? The things that make your heart sing, okay? That's the second house, all right? So there is, again, for you, there's a level of relationships here. There's a level of big money and relationships, biggest theme, all right, for this week for you. But second house is also self-worth and self-value, material possessions. It's building your confidence. All right. Now, it can also be wanting too much control, too much power, that type of stuff, right? Especially with, relationships and money. And like I said, Taurus is a finance sign. Mercury square Pluto, by the way, is like troll energy, like internet trolls. Like, hey, they're going to be out to play over this weekend. They say, you watch, right? You watch. Are you watching my live streams? Watch my live streams where I do predictions, right? I'm the Pope, the power outages, the earthquake in California. I mean, I've made all these. So trust me, trolls are gonna be out to play, because you know what trolls do is they do that. They say, I refuse, especially over this week. They're gonna say, I refuse to do shadow work. I'm always right. I'm not gonna change, and I'm gonna put all my darkness on social media or in, the comments or in chat rooms, whatever it is. Remember, trolls are hidden. That's why that darkness, they stay in the shadows. And so they're going to be coming out because it's a Scorpio full moon. What is Scorpio? The scorpion. The stingers come out. So again, A, it might be you. Try not to do that. But B, it could be someone trying to provoke you. And always be responsive and not reactive. You're on a karmic journey. You create your path, your reality. Use this aspect, okay? Use it to empower yourself, to empower others. We're talking about Pluto here. This is Mercury square. This is great for leadership or focus and concentration on you. Empowerment. Like I said, it's very sharp. It's very intuitive. It's very psychic. It's very empowering others. And Mercury square Pluto has a really good like BS filter. Like no one can deceive you. No one can trip you up. Okay. And I think I told you in your monthly forecast that I have Mercury square Pluto in my chart. I was born with this. I'm living proof that you can use this for the greater good. So vibrate at that high frequency and be the best version of yourself. And when I say high frequency, that's love, that's compassion, that's gratitude, that's kindness. Stay at a 10 because around this time, there may be people trying to pull you into their low energy frequency. But what do I always say? Don't stoop to their level, pull them out. Help pull them out of that frequency. That's karma. That's free. That's the greater good. Okay? Now, I talked about shadow work, especially for y'all. And that's, you know what? If you don't know what that is, it's just confronting those sides of you that you don't want to confront because it's too hard, or you don't want people to see that side of you. Things like that. Okay? You will be doing it because look at what's happening. You've got Saturn with the North Node, with Rahu. You have Pluto retrograde, right? Pluto being Scorpio's ruler, right? All about that shadow work. You got Jupiter squaring the nodes, which we'll talk about. We got Jupiter sextile Chiron, which I talked about, but I'll give you a little bit more, all right? And again, this is just when they perfect. So these are slow moving. These are these are placements. So in the sky, like, and asteroids, you're gonna feel it all week, ramping up. And don't forget, you got that Virgo South Node. You remember that? You got the South Node in Virgo in your sixth house of everyday activities and your lifestyle and your habits and routines anyway, where it's asking you to let go. That's the South Node, right? Let go of perfectionist energy, self-critical energy, being hard on yourself. Let's do that. Let's let things go. And you're going to feel a little bit restless because yes, you got this Virgo rules the nervous system, first of all, and it's Mercury ruled, right? So, that's a little bit, there can be a little bit restlessness with the Uranus cazimi. And if you feel it, because not everyone's going to feel it, if you feel a little, it's because there's something inside you, you got to, all right. So don't be afraid to go deep and be in touch with your emotions. It's okay to cry it out. It's okay to shout at the walls. Okay? Because we are all human and nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And we were built with a range of emotions to feel them all. And you've got to feel them all to grow. Okay? Don't get stuck in low energy frequencies, but learn from it to grow. You're on a karmic path. Yeah? Spend time in nature. That really does help. Connect with the ether, okay? Go get a massage. Just treat yourself. Have your moment, all right? Now, we're going to talk about this more in the second spread, but one of the reasons, again, this is going to be a big full moon for you especially. You've got the full moon conjuncting Juno. Now, this is happening at 24 degrees. That's big, okay? That's really big because it's good. It's very intuitive energy. But anyway, Juno, we've talked about last week. I've been bringing her up because she's been very pivotal and you've been seeing it playing out in the world stage. Now, and in your life, Juno, a really strong asteroid, Roman goddess of marriage who complements Venus and linked to Libra. She fights for justice in partnerships, in relationships, in marriage, in contracts, in fidelity, infidelity, betrayal, legal matters, personal relationships, even wealth. She's adding this extra, it's a conjunction. This is Juno conjuncting the full moon. And that's a big deal because there is going to be, just use her, okay? In relation, it could be a situationship. It could be a work colleague thing. Juno is bringing you justice. You are using her to find truth and justice. And why is this a big deal? And it's not just the full moon conjuncting Juno. Juno is also with the North Node. All right? She's with the North Node really tight. negotiating with the North Node, your future, your mission statement, your purpose, your destiny, bringing that truth to light as well for something beautiful, because she works for you and you've got to use her. All right. Now, remember what I just told you about November 1st? Juno actually moved into Scorpio November 3rd. So remember, think about, again, when it comes to money and relationships, biggest themes of all, but, truths, everything I just mentioned. Think about that, because she moved into Scorpio then, right? Just right in time for the new moon. And then she moved, into Sagittarius for a little bit. And now she's back. She moved into Scorpio just a week ago. What are the chances? She's been here for you, right? For that new moon. And she came back for this full moon to make sure that you receive justice, right? You got to use her. Saturn, by the way, is still with the North Node, as you know. And we'll talk about that. They're starting to separate. You know that's happening, okay? And you know that Saturn is moving into your sign last week. I'm going to remind you right now. So when I say your life is changing, yes. And I'm going to tell you why in a bigger way. But this is the last week that Saturn is with the North Node in Pisces, conjuncting, right? It's a looser conjunction. Again, they're separating a little bit. Still asking you, what is the structure you're building for your destiny, your mission statement, your purpose? Remember, he's making things easy for you now. Saturn can be hard. He's the authority. But remember, he's doing great things for you now. You got the Sun sextile Saturn next week. You got Venus trine Mars next week, which are so strong, you're feeling it this week. It's a portal that you're going through. All right. That's really amazing. So don't forget Sirius. All right. Another, planetoid. Listen, you got Saturn, Sirius, and the North Node all together, but they are sextiling Uranus and Taurus. I can't make this up. Saturn and Uranus. I told you, and this will be about all year. You're going to feel this all year. But for now, they're working together for this new vision for Uranus. Like I said, is breakthrough, innovation, great at rebuilding. Yeah, key word. I didn't say building. I said rebuilding. Yeah, because Uranus is going to break things down, right? And Pluto's breaking things down and has been for you, for this new era, this new future that you want. Neptune's already doing it. Neptune moved into your sign. Neptune dissolves. Neptune's dissolved your old visions as you move into. So remember, it's a process. These things don't happen overnight. This is a process. But all I'm saying is out with the old, in with the new. And we'll talk about in the second spread another major thing that's happening with Sirius. And remember, Sirius, the planetoid Roman goddess of motherhood, fertility, agriculture. Just think self-care, nurturing, all of that. Big. There's something big here. Now, I might just tell you. But anyway, one of the reasons why I'm harping on Saturn and Capricorn, that Capricorn energy, is because all weekend, starting around Thursday, the moon will go into Capricorn. Yeah? And we'll talk about in the second spread. So you will have big moments in career or your reputation or fame, right? That's your 10th house. Anyway, Saturn, by the way, next week when he moves into your sign, he is going to say, oh, Aries, I'm in your house now. Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I've left all the old structures, patterns, ways of thinking, systems. I left all of them past. That's what Saturn's doing. Okay. So you are truly, out of all the signs this month, going through the biggest change, and you're going to start seeing it unfold in June. As I said, your May forecast. Out with the old, in with the new. It's time to break old patterns, structures behind, and a lot of y'all are already doing it, because you see this new vision for yourself. And it doesn't mean you don't have to completely upend your life. It's just like even like an ascension or a graduation. And I was going to talk about this in the second spread. I'll just tell you now, May 16th, Sirius, and this is why I want you to really pay attention. May 16th, Sirius is moving into your sign. Whoa. Whoa. So you see this 0 degree point that you're still on? Fresh new beginnings, the world axis, the creation degree. And with Sirius here, Sirius just moved into Pisces in February, just in time for that once in a lifetime rare alignment, the 0 degree axis that happened in your birthday season. Yeah, you remember that? You remember that? And now Saturn and Neptune moving into your sign and Sirius joining them. So you'll have the three of them conjuncting all year. So you have to just say at this point, you can't even just say, what are the chances? You have to say, there is a higher power at work here helping steer you and guide you. All right. Sirius is great. Sirius is amazing. And we'll talk about more in the second spread. But anyway, you're feeling a lot of things in, a lot of sexual energy for y'all too, by the way. All right. Anyway, cross watchers, sex is going to be actually a big thing. And some of y'all actually may have babies when I see what's going on. You got Mars and Leo, you got this full moon Scorpio. There's baby stuff or grandkids or there's something here. Or maybe even a neighbor that you cross watchers. If you watch for your rising or your moon, which I recommend, or for your sister, your husband, whoever it is, your hamster. Fixed signs, that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, are going to feel this day the most. If you know your birth chart, your natal chart, and remember, I'm going to give this a wider or because of Uranus. If you have any planets between 20 to 27 degrees in any of the signs that I mentioned, or Virgo, or Pisces, and I am going to throw in Capricorn. Yeah, because of Saturn. All right. And that completes all the earth signs. Then you will feel this the most. Now, one other thing that's happening. Are y'all traveling? Some of y'all going to be traveling this week. Great. Do it. You got the moon in Sag too. Now, Sagittarius, May 17th, you got Mercury square Mars. All right. And listen. We talked about this in your monthly forecast. This is also another square, like once a year. It happens once a year. You're going to feel it's strong. You'll feel it days before, days after. It's amplifying the Uranus Cazimi. Now, when you got Mercury squaring your ruling planet, this is going to be big. Mars is going to be like a laser, all right? And Mars, remember, in Leo, that is your fifth. Here's the thing. It brings out those lower expressions. So there can be, for you, pride, ego, reckless energy that may be happening within your world because Mars can even weaponize the powers of Mercury, words, even thoughts, and yes, it still can be you. Like words can be exchanged, tempers, being impulsive, hasty, rushing through decisions, not thinking before you speak, jumping to conclusions, competitive energy. And this is all in your fifth house, second house. So yeah, there's definitely like something here about your self-worth, self-value. Maybe someone is, really, poking the bear, right? Poking the ram. Or there's something here around money, and there's something here around children, and there's something here, or your children. There's something here about, your lover. There's something here about things that just bring you joy and pleasure and creative projects. So just remember, with this aspect, you just want to be very diplomatic. You can be direct. Mars is going to be like a laser, but be diplomatic. It's all about listening, agreeing to agree, because this is for the collective. Everyone's going to feel this. So if you go walking out of your house wearing really cool shoes and your favorite like banana hat and a Will Ferrell mask, and someone on the street yells, "Oh, hey, cool shoes." Like, you're on a karmic journey. Don't forget that, okay? This is one of those karmic tests. Don't forget your future self is watching you right now, seeing what you're going to do. So smile and thank them and go up to them and ask them, how's your day? Catch them off guard with kindness. Remember, use your frequency, right? Pull people out. Always be the better person in the situation, the best version of yourself. Vibrate at the high frequency, because who even is that person, right? So work with your karma. Don't let anyone take away your power. All right. And remember, I said with Mercury square Mars, yeah, you can use this physically, exert energy, do some gardening, karate, you know, join a flash mob if those still exist. Go to the beach, do some yoga on the beach. I talked about the solar plexus chakra. You got to feel all that. That's why you say fire in the belly. The breath of fire. Use it. All right. Anyway, Mercury's going to be opposite Juno this day, so that's why it's going to be a big deal for you. All right. So again, something here with relationships and money, very likely. All right. Fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Aries, and Gemini and Virgo will feel this the most. And if you have any planets between 10 to 16 degrees in any of the fixed signs, you'll feel it. Now, the 17th or the 18th, depending on where you live, remember a lot of these aspects like happen kind of like midnight-ish, but you got the Uranus Cazimi. Now, unless you live for the next 84 years, this is going to be the last Uranus Cazimi in Taurus in our lifetime. In our lifetime. Yeah? It only happens once a year. It's rare. And think about what happened. We've had Uranus in Taurus since 2018. Yeah. You had a lot of shakeups with money and finances and income. Pretty likely. Yeah. Pretty likely. This is the last one. It's over. Okay. That's why you're moving and Uranus, remember, is moving into Gemini. And that's a whole other ball game for you. And remember, Uranus does 1 gazillion infinite times better in Gemini than it does in Taurus, where it's pretty much detriment. So will this be a little bit of a bump? Yeah, because Uranus Cazimi happens once a year and it is stimulating. So it's great if you use it. But it can be unpredictable. And so Uranus Cazimi, you really want to use it. It's you. It's more about you. Uranus, I told you this. Uranus is asking you, have your breakthroughs, okay? Shake things up. Again, the Great Awakener here for your freedom and doing something different, breaking from routine. Have your breakthrough. It's very restless energy, like I said, but innovation. There's something inside you. You're like, I need to do this, or I need to change this, because Uranus is change, period. And I told you that the chances of change and unexpected change are very, very high around this time. All right. And it can be the Tower card, or it can be the Wheel of Fortune. Where are you putting your energy, right? So just remember that because it happens once a year. And so Uranus at this time is just like, oh, okay, it's that time. There's something overdue here, all right? We're all going to wake up. It's at 27 degrees, which is great. It's a Gemini degree. That's a 9. We know about 9, year of 9, right? So this is really nice. It goes perfectly with this Uranus Cazimi because the Gemini degree this is the degree of communication and curiosity and learning and being very open to new experiences. And remember, Jupiter is in Gemini. You got to pay attention to what's happening here, right? And this is why I believe that you are going to have that breakthrough. You are going to make that change. You are going to say, hey, I am going to change things up because Venus is trining Mars, and I feel that now. Okay? The Sun is sextiling Saturn. I feel that now. All right? That's all happening next week. Now, Jupiter squaring the nodes. This is great. You got Jupiter, Jove, right? King of the gods, optimism. He always squeezes something really good out of something. And so remember, this entire week, when Jupiter is with the nodes of fate, there's a great fated opportunity with the potential to go big, expand, have good luck and fortune around, and change your perspective on something. All right? That's what's happening when Jupiter squares the North Node. And the South Node. And this is something that, because you've been feeling it since the beginning of May, remember, things get a little bit stronger when you get to the actual perfection. So you're really feeling it this week. So it could have already happened. You could be in your expanding phase now. Or it could happen now. And you could be, for the next 2 weeks. But just put yourself out there. It's the karmic notice of fate with, the planet of luck and wisdom and growth and expansion. Okay? And Jupiter is faith. Have that faith. Jupiter, Sextile, Chiron in your sign. We spoke about this last week. This is just more healing, doing that deep inner work for those old wounds where you feel the most vulnerable. This is in your sign. This is you. This is you. A lot of throat chakra energy for you about communication, communicating, thinking, launching something new, all of that, because all this is doing is bringing opportunities for growth and expansion. Yeah. As you do that healing, mindset healing, wherever you find it. But because it is Jupiter for you, with that being in your third house, yeah, a lot of the way that you're seeing things, spiritual healing as well. Jupiter's got you. But we'll talk about this in second spread. Aries, don't forget, is right on top of Chiron. And Aries is Mars' sister. So the goddess warrior. We'll talk about that. Now, just use it. Okay. So here's the thing. All signs are going to feel this day immensely because all the modalities are involved. But if you want to isolate that Uranus Cazimi, it'll be all the fixed signs. Yeah. But then if you know your birth chart, you have planets between 24 to 29 degrees in any of the fixed signs, as well as Pisces and Virgo, or 0 to 5 degrees in Aquarius or your sign, Aries. You're going to feel it the most. Okay? And then, there's not on the whiteboard, the moon will conjunct Pluto on that Sunday too. So that brings a little bit more intensity. But it's more about truth seeking. Those are two cards that flipped over. You listen, the universe has some really good news for you. Okay. This is going to be one of the best weeks for you. And I will keep the 8 of Wands and the Fool in mind as I do your forecast, as I do your reading. Let's get started. You're good. All right. You saw that. Aries, let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you for, we're going to do it. May 12th to the 18th. Oh, well, there's more. We'll keep those out. I just want to see them. All right. Aries, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much for being here. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread. How are y'all doing? Yeah? How are y'all doing? Your life is changing. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview if we need to, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, Aries, you know I love y'all. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you are watching my live streams. And I do have good news for you. After, like a year, it's been a year, maybe 2 years, finally updated my my merch store, and so I have those new designs, and it's all based on your comments, like the "You're Good" t-shirts, but new designs like the mugs and tote bags and hats and all other like you'll see, you'll love it. All right, so let's get started. All right, I want to see these cards, but okay, yeah, you're good. You're good. Oh my goodness. Okay. These are going to be secret clarifiers for you. Okay. Wow. You're going to get one of these. You're going to get like the little owl dance. You see my Venus flytrap. I got a new one. Okay. Look at what's happening. You got the sun. Have you ever gotten a tarot reading? You know, the sun is the biggest yes. So you're going into this week with pure optimism. You're sure the moon illuminates, but the sun is that life force, and this is light. You're good. I talk about frequency. Look at the rays. What do you think those are? All right. So this is optimism, abundance. This is opportunities. This is vitality. You see the wisdom child here. There is something inside you. There is this rebirth. There is this new. This is amazing. There's a lot of confidence and purity and self-expression. I am who I am. Achievements here too. This is amazing because look, you got that optimism. Look at what you got. You vibrate at the high frequency. Look at what you got. You get the 9 of Cups in the heart of your spread. And the heart of your spread, this is the wish come true card. This is the card where we see it's wish fulfillment, right? It's a 9, right? Fulfillment, right? And I call it genie in a bottle energy. Look at him sitting there like a genie in a bottle. Anything that you want. This is a card of satisfaction, but also being proud of yourself, because look at him. It's as if he's showing off his cups like they're trophies. This is achieved. You're good. There's something you want, you're going to get. Your life is changing. Your life is changing. Now, you got the 10 of Pentacles. You got it in your challenge area. So 2 messages are coming up. There's a third one that's percolating, but first things first, it's great because you're coming into, it's almost like remember I said, you're end of the old, in with the new, okay? So this is indicating there's something here that's like, okay, something is ending. More about your physical world though, all right? What did I say about money and wealth as well? Okay? And it's different for everyone, but it can even be your mindset, okay? If you're like, that low energy frequency, it's like, I don't have any money and I don't know what to do. That would be low energy frequency. If you say, listen, I don't have the money that I want right now, but I know I'm going to get it. And this is what I'm going to do to get it because I deserve it. That's high frequency. And so again, it's all about your perspective and the way in frequency and energy. But yeah, that's wealth. That's a lot of abundance. It's happy everything. This is success. It's prosperity. It's the Pentacles, all 10 of them raining from the heavens and the form of the tree of life. This is big, but it's again, more about coming into your physical realm and understanding that there is this it feels like a graduation. It feels like there's this adjustment that you are moving into, right? That you went through a journey and now you're coming out on top. And you can expect a lot of great things. Now, the second message that's coming through is that, yes, there is going to be some stuff that are going to come up in terms of family and home, maybe even your legacy. Maybe that's going to be strongly what you're, doing that shadow work on. And there also can be something here in terms of like prosperity and success where you're doing that shadow work on, where it's like, let me do that. And that's going to bring me into this higher state. Okay. And money too, because it's Pentacles, but don't forget Pentacles, all your physical reality. And this is really just having that gratitude for what you have in your physical world. Okay. So that's high frequency as well. All right. So, the third message that was coming through is like, yes, if there's any resistance that you do feel with on any of those squares, or if there's anything illuminated, it does feel, again, during the full moon, something with money, wealth, physical world, like I said earlier, but a good like family. All right. It could be like a parent. It could be a grandparent. There's something here. I feel something older, but it could be your children too. It's just focus there. Yeah. King of Cups, you're going to be fine. That's emotional stability. This is someone who is not only a big leader, but he leads with his heart. This is someone who has very intuitive energy. He's done his shadow work. He's got the cup in his hand with it. He's not, look at the turbulent water. It doesn't matter. He's on his throne. No one's going to knock him off the throne. Not even the turbulent water. That's how you're going to be. And he's not only the most intuitive king, he's also Scorpio. And so remember, there's going to be, tapping into your emotions. 7 of Pentacles, great. And you're going to have love there's going to be a lot of love, like transcendent, super conscious love that you're going to be feeling this week. Now, 7 of Pentacles and the root of your spread. Yeah. There's changes, there's shifts. You're sitting on it just like him. He's taking a little pause. And he's looking back. He's like, okay, everything that I've put my blood, sweat, tears, heart, and soul into, is this it? Is this it? And if it is, great. You did a great job. And now it's like, okay, I put myself where I want to be. But if that's the case, there may be something more coming through. And so don't think that that's it. All right. Secondly, a lot of you are going to take that pause because you're going to say, I think that I need more. I think I deserve more. Right. So whatever it is, you're going to take a little bit of a pause. And like I said, money is going to be a thing for you. Okay. Money, wealth, and even just anything that you've invested in. It can be relationship. It's your physical world. What I say about Pentacles, we got the Chariot in your future. You're going to be fine. Look across your cross. You're going to be absolutely fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. Chariot is all about, think about the sun, right? You can even think about willpower there. That's the Chariot, has a blast of willpower. Moving forward, not even looking back. I got what I deserve. I'm so happy. And that's really like kick things into high gear. And I feel so motivated. I feel empowered, going after my dreams. You even see the stars and his canopy there. Yeah. Not turning back. You are likely, I talk about travel. I did. Some of y'all may be traveling, and maybe something that moves the needle forward. If not, travel of the mind. But either way, there's something here where there may be two opportunities coming through. Let's get to your stuff. Aries, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right. Y'all, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on, Aries. I love my Aries. And yeah, we will, I love it. All right, let's get, you get a mic drop. Let's just get through this. Okay, so first, can we talk about all these pentacles? What I say about money, right? What I say about relationships as well. We'll talk about that. You got the Eight of Pentacles, okay? What I say about the Seven of Pentacles. You go from the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles here. Yeah. You're going to be sitting on something. You're going to be taking a pause this week, or something is going to be illuminated, or you're going to do that shadow work, and you're like, I feel empowered. Boom. You got the Eight of Pentacles. This is all about working toward your goals, working toward your legacy, and not being distracted. Okay? Remember, you got that Ten of Pentacles. That's where he's getting. And you know what about him? He's going to get there. You know why? Because he's hardworking. He removed himself from the village to focus. Well, I talk about that intense focus and concentration. Yeah? This is amazing. And there is that, remember I talk about May, like that, like wax on, wax off energy, Miss that's what this is. A lot of y'all gonna be doing it. And I'd advise you, put in the work, you get rewarded. Remember, Saturn's gonna reward you, and Saturn's about to move in a different sign, your sign, next week. So you're starting a brand new journey because Neptune's there. I'll do a live stream. Yeah, I'll do a live stream. You have the Four of Pentacles. There you go. There's someone, like I said earlier, that other message I was telling you, that may be a little, may not be seeing eye to eye with you in terms of money and finances, and even like material possessions. It can even be a car. It does seem like there may be something with a car here, FYI. All right. But, or even a trip. A travel keeps coming up. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Remember when I talked about that inflexibility with some people this week? Well, look at him. He's not going to move anywhere. He's like, all right. So pentacles, finances, things like that. But your physical world, most likely something with career, like a boss or a colleague. But again, it can be your partner or relationship or a child. Now, you got the Two of Pentacles too. All right. So what I say about that, you got the Two of Pentacles. You've got the two Sphinxes here, by the way, in your future. What about that two thing? So there may be something here where it's like, yeah, two opportunities or two things, or I'm taking on too much. I got to prioritize. I got to figure out what I want. But all it is just letting things come together. For a lot of y'all, you're going to be in a situation where you've just never been in. It's like, oh, this is new to me. That's why it's that a little bit of a juggling act. It's like, okay, which way? Trust your intuition. That's all it is. Okay? Now, it could be job opportunities, something with money, your physical reality as well. Now, you got the Two of Cups. And your final outcome, you're good. You're absolutely good. You're 1,000% good. And the Two of Cups is partnerships and relationships. So what did I tell you from the very beginning? What's going to be the biggest themes for you, Aries, this week? I said partnerships and relationships, and I said money and finances. And so you see the affirmation here and the alignment with what's happening with astrology. That's amazing. So it does look like, and this is what we call the soulmate card, the twin flame card, the true love card. And yeah, in layman's terms, right? You got Mars and Leo in your 5th house of true love and romance. You've got this full moon in Scorpio in your 8th house, which is relationship building. Okay? There's stuff happening. You got Juno linked to Libra, very active this week with partnerships and relationships. It looks like a new one is forming. Okay? There's someone coming into your life. And when I say that, it could be you getting a new job. It could be you with a new boss. It could be you starting a business with a new business partner. It could be you finding love, or, maybe a resurgence in love after you did that shadow work. You're like, you go to your partner, like, I really love you. You do the thing, or maybe it's that thing with the guy from Love Actually with the cards to that person, whatever. Either way, there's just something with another person involved, but you can see the caduceus here. Yeah. Healing. It's healing. But you also see the winged lion on that passion. This is amazing. I love this for you. But it does feel like something new. It looks like something that you wanted. And you got the sun with the 9 of cups, and you got the chariot. Absolutely amazing. A lot of home family energy here that is coming through, but you clearly see when you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentacle cards. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, let's take a look. Yeah. All right. Ace of Swords, you're going to have, there's something new. There you go. This is huge new way of thinking. Remember, I said your perspective is going to be shifting, right? You see that crown. This is also like success and victory. Maybe a contract, maybe agreement. It's swords. Yeah. Maybe there's something. Aces are new beginnings, new cycles, and swords. This is really having a huge mental breakthrough. Like there's something you needed to see around that full moon, and you acted upon it. And now there you go. You got the Ace of Swords. Absolutely amazing. Big conversation that you need to have. Maybe there's a big meeting. You learned something that you're getting. Anyway, you also got the 5 of Wands. What I talk about, not seeing eye to eye. Okay. It can be colleagues. It can be employees. It can be family. It can be your lover. These are kids. It can be children, or talks about having children, or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you just want to rise above, because sure, this is a conflict card. It's a conflict card. It could be a creative partner, but it's the least conflicty. It's kids swinging their wands in the air. They're not even hitting each other. The wands aren't even like, so it's like not worth your time and energy. Remember, that's what these squares are. You're good. Aries, I love y'all. Second spread. Yeah, we're going to go deep. We're going to talk about, I'm going to do a spread just on the full moon alone, just to isolate that, because it's big. I'm going to do I'm going to do 2. You see me, I got 2 decks. I'm going to talk about these asteroids. You got Aries on Chiron in your sign. You got Sirius moving into your sign. I'm going to talk about these luminations. You got career fame stuff happening this week. And then something with friendships too. Anyway, tier 3 members. Oh, we do have an amazing golden triangle. I'm going to talk about that. Anyway, we are going to, tier 3 members, you got me. You know where to find the link. Aries, if you like this reading, would be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on in next week. Yes, we will go deeper in the aspects. I already told you 2 of them. You see in May. You see in your May forecast what's happening next week. And I just told you anyway, Saturn's moving into your sign. If there's any reading you want to watch this next week, Saturn joining Neptune hasn't happened in centuries. In your sign, your life is changing. I love you. All right. Thanks so much, Aries. Bye-bye.